What's up guys, it's Aliana and today I'm going to be filming my highly requested makeup tutorial. I'm going to have all the products I use linked down below along with my social media. It's going to be Alyanathuy on every single platform, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, so make sure to follow me on that because I'm definitely more active on there than on YouTube. But yeah, just keep on watching. I'm going to start off by priming with my Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. If you have dry skin and your skin peels under your makeup, I highly recommend getting this primer because it just does so well with my makeup and just makes everything really hydrated and smooth. And you want to make sure to apply your primer after you let your moisturizer set for a little bit, so don't like put moisturizer on and then right away prime your face because then it's going to start peeling and your makeup is going to move. So you want to make sure all your products set in before you apply a new one. Next I'm going to conceal with my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Macadamia, and I'm just going to do a couple swipes of this under my eye. I'm going to take my Hourglass concealer in shade Apricot, and then I'm just going to do one swipe of this like that. Then I'm going to take my Hourglass concealer brush and just slightly tap this to blend it out. I highly recommend getting this brush because I feel like it just makes my concealer blend out so much more smooth and just gives me like an even finish. So after I finish blending out like around my eyes, I'm going to take the leftover concealer and do it around my smile lines and between my eyebrows and on my nose, but without taking any extra product. And then just a little bit on my chin because I have acne scars. So wherever I have acne scars, I'm just covering any little dark spots, red spots with my concealer. I get to about here with the concealer brush. I take this Hourglass brush, it's a little bit bigger, and just use this to make my concealer more seamless into the rest of my skin, if that makes sense. So here's what my concealer looks like all blended out. Next I'm going to take my Hourglass Vanish Foundation Stick in shade Walnut, and I'm just going to use this as contour, and I'm going to do a little swipe of this on my cheekbones. Then I'm going to take this Morphe M6 brush, and I'm just going to kind of buff out the contour and bring it up to my temples while I'm doing it. Then I'm also going to take excess and put it on my forehead and underneath my chin. Next, I'm going to take my Patrick Ta nose contour brush, and I'm going to take the little fan side and put some product on the brush, and I'm just going to go and contour my nose. So I just follow my natural nose lines and putting two lines there. This just helps to make my nose more defined and stick out instead of looking like a blob. So I do a little line at the top and bottom of the ball of my nose just to make it look more skinny, pinched. And I'm going to bring that up to my eyebrow. I hear a lot of people say that it's not good to bring it up to your eyebrow because it just makes your nose look bigger, but I feel like it makes it look more natural. And I'm just slightly blending it out with the fan side as well. Then I'm going to take the little other blending side out just to slightly make it more even and less harsh. So here is what my nose contour looks like, and I'm just going to take my concealer brush again and slightly just tap to carve it out, and then a little bit down the middle and on the ball, just so it's, you know, not just all dark. So before I set my face, I'm going to take my concealer brush and make sure there are no creases under my eye. I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish powder in shade Medium with my little powder puff. You can literally get these anywhere. I got mine at TJ Maxx. And I'm just going to pretty firmly press under my eye. And you want to really be patient with this and really press. You don't want to just go like this, because if you go like that, then it will smudge everywhere. So this is helping it set in place and be more smooth. And I'm also setting like the sides of my nose where I kind of carved it out. And then I'm gonna do between my brows, my smile line, my chin, basically everywhere that I put concealer, and then a little bit on my nose. Basically, I'm gonna set my whole face with this powder. Okay, so after I'm all set and my face is all matte, I'm gonna go and take my Patrick Ta bronzer in She's Chiseled, and I'm just gonna use this little bronzer brush. My mom ordered a pack on Amazon and just gave me this one. It's not my favorite, so I'm not really gonna recommend it, but I think it's pretty good for what it does. So I'm just gonna take some product on my brush, and then I'm just going to put this on my cheekbones, and again bring it up to my temples. So I'm basically gonna put this powder bronzer where I put the cream contour. And I like my face to be really warm and bronzy, so I'm pretty heavy-handed with this. Then I'm gonna go back over my nose with the same Patrick Ta contour brush, and I'm gonna use the powder again, and I'm just going to really set it in with this bronzer powder. And it's really pinched, and I know it's really harsh, so I'm gonna again blend it out a little bit more. But I also like it to be pretty noticeable, so my nose looks more skinny. So I don't just like it completely blended out, if you know what I mean. I just kind of like that look. Okay, so here is what it looks like so far. Now I'm gonna take my House Labs blush in Watermelon Bliss. I'm gonna use this Real Techniques contour brush. I'm just gonna take a little bit because a little bit of this goes a really long way. It's really pigmented. And I'm just gonna put this right above my bronzer. And a little bit under my eye and to like the corners of my eyes. And just a little bit on my nose. Then I'm gonna take this Real Techniques buffing brush just to kind of blend it out without putting more product, because like I said, this is really pigmented and I don't want to be really clowny, so I'm blending it out more. Okay, I'm just gonna take a little bit more bronzer because like I said, I love a bronzed look, so we're gonna do a little bit more of this. Okay. Then I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood highlighter in shade Gilded Glow. It's this really pretty gold color. And then I'm just going to take this Morphe brush that my mom got for me. And then I'm just going to put this on my cheekbones. Basically exactly where I put the blush. I'm pretty heavy-handed with the highlighter too because I really like to be glowy and then the rest of my face to be matte. So I'm going to take my finger, don't mind my missing nail, and I'm going to put some on the ball of my nose and on the bridge of my nose. I'm going to take my Ilia brow gel and I'm just going to put my brows in place. I don't fill in my brows or anything because it just does not work for me. I just don't look right with really dark brows. So I just kind of use my natural brows and just make them more clean. I have been thinking about getting a brow lamination, but I feel like if it looks bad, then I'm just going to be stuck with it and I'm going to be really mad. But yeah. Then I'm going to take some of this NYX Fat Lip Oil in the shade Newsfeed. I feel like this gives me like a really good natural pink lip color because my natural lips are a little dark, but I want them to be more pinky. So I'm not putting too much of this because if you put too much, it's going to be too red. But yeah. Then normally after this, I would set my face. I would either use a one size setting spray or the MAC Fix Plus, depending on if I want like a matte or dewy look. But obviously I'm just going for a nothing look because I'm staying home. So yeah, that is the final makeup. So just make sure to subscribe and I will be posting a lot more. Hopefully I'm going to try to be more consistent. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching.
I had to stand too close to the city, you acting too vulnerable living this life. I still move your way from before I caught you all.